Hello, welcome to my little tour of my TN. I feel like I had to make this video today because I've been being very influenced lately on all the new books that are out. I don't know if they're new, but they're new to me. Things like Louise Carmen and Paper Republic, stuff like that. I keep seeing those floating around and I'm like, I really want to buy one of those books. I want to try a new book out, but at the same time, I'm trying not to buy everything, right? So I want to kind of appreciate my little TN. I've had this one for about 7 years now, right? So she has some love in it. I think she's like a dark brown color. Definitely there's paint on it. This one I primarily use for painting and drawing because I like to draw and paint extremely tiny. And this book, I love it, and I've kind of modified it over the years, and I'm gonna share kind of what I did. And also, I'm sorry if you don't like overlap on your TNs. This is a very chonky one. All right, so let's take a look. So open her up, and I have this little foldy thing. I don't know where I got it. I think it was Amazon. It was very cheap. It was like $10 maybe. Looks like that. And if I can open it up here, show you what's inside. I have this little pocket. So I have a little art toolkit paint palette. This one here has some schminky watercolors that I always use, and a white gouache. In this one here, I also have some washi tape and tiny chalk pencil and my little brown pencil crayon that I use for sketching. So I like to throw these little stubby ones into here because they fit and I'm not wasting them. Alright, so the first book here I have thrown in, I have a sticker book. So I'll show you what that looks like. So this one's a little insert you can buy. It's basically like a waxy paper and it has a sticker release. I have all my little stickers in here. I have some washi tape and all of these little guys here that I like to use for my journaling. Next up is my actual journal. Right, so this one here, I used to use a craft paper one. I'm not going to show you too much on the inside, but that's basically what it looks like. This one here, I kind of made this one. So this is why there's so much overhang, is this Arches cold press paper. So I really like watercolor painting, and this one here I just kind of cut up a piece of paper and folded into these little squares, added this little floppy paper. I think I got it from a craft store nearby, I can't remember, but anyways, I just sewed that on there, and I just went in and I literally just poked holes all the way through and just sewed all along the edges. Oh wait, no, nope, just kidding. This one is stapled. I was lazy that day. So this one here is just Arches. I have a little bit of watercolor paintings in this one. And it holds really nicely. And then this one here, I have another little sketchbook that I made. So this one is Arches hot press paper. Yes, so this one, it's very smooth. So it's good for kind of sketching and a bit of watercolor. I like doing inks as well. So that was a nice little book. And then over in the back, this is kind of where I modified the back of this pocket, so I'm just going to push these guys over. So this pocket here, again, it's part of this little folder guy. I think I got it from Amazon. I don't remember. But anyways, I got this little folder and it has these little pockets, but it didn't have anywhere for pen storage, so I sewed these elastics in here. So I have this little teeny tiny baby pen here. This is a brand. I think it's called... It says Ohto, O-H-T-O, sharp pencil. So it's like this. It's the tiniest little mechanical pencil. I lost the original eraser, so I had to cram a different one in there. And then this one here is my blending stump. It's just a little one that kind of fits in here. This folder here, if I open her up, I just kind of crammed in some scrapbooking paper. These are very inexpensive. I think they were probably a bundle on like eBay or Temu or one of those places. So I have all these little fun papers that I glue into my journal, little stickers. cram those in without wrecking it. And then in my back pocket here, I have little tiny pictures I like to print out. So let's see what I have. Yeah, so I have a picture of my bunny rabbit, my other bunny rabbit, puppy, and then my boyfriend dressed up for Halloween. Oh, there's those ones there. And this one's just a little sticker here. And then if I go over here, this is my little pocket that I made. Yes, things are falling out. But I basically went in and I made a little stitch. I got this pocket. It was just like a fabric sample, and I sewed it into an actual pocket, added the button and everything. I know it looks really gross, but I usually use this when I'm painting, and I have like my little water brush in here, and I just need to like wipe my brush on something. That's what this is used for. That's why it looks absolutely disgusting. But I basically went in and I just sewed here and here right into the back of the book. So it actually did not do any damage because the book has these little holes here. I don't know if you can see. There we go. It has these little tiny holes. And basically what I did is I pushed that thread through it, put a really thick embroidery thread, and then I basically just put one knot through one side and one knot through the other side, and it holds pretty well. So I just wanted an extra little pouch to throw some larger things in. I mostly use this book. I take it everywhere with me, but I usually use it when I'm like sitting in bed or on the couch watching TV, and I just want to like have all of my supplies with me and easy. So I have this little pouch. I keep a colored pencil. This one here, I believe it's Pentel. It has 8 different chambers in it, I believe, and it has all the different colors. So basically you can go in and just have, so for example, there we have brown, and then if I switch her over, I can just sort of click this pen to the next color. So we'll see, where are we here? For example, you can just kind of go in there and click around and get that let out. My little water brush that fits. I have some washi tape, some more washi tape. I basically took them off the bundles and I got a piece of cardboard and just literally sat for, I have so many packages of these, but I sat and I just wrapped them and wrapped and wrapped them. It probably took me about a whole day just to get all of these covered. I have probably like 30 of these because I wanted them to fit flat, and it takes up less storage room, but it's definitely worth it in my opinion, because now I can fit all of these rolls of washi tape just in here. And then I have in the back, if I can open this up, another palette by Art Toolkit, but this is my bigger one. So I have basically all of the paints I own in here, and then I have the top portion is gouache and poster color. Underneath is all my watercolors here. And it's really great. It fits very flat and very thin. I started off with that little tiny baby one that we saw at the beginning, and then I switched to this one because, I don't know, I just love it. It's so, I don't know, it's satisfying. It makes that little clinky noise. And then over here, it's just little scrapbooking paper, right? So again, it's very inexpensive. This one I think I got for like $3. Probably Temu because I'm on a budget and they have very affordable stationery. And at the back here, it's just kind of sewn in, and this button you can definitely close if I wanted it to. And I usually just keep this little piece of I think it's from stickers. It's like a backing of a sticker paper, but I just use this if, for example, I want to maybe write in this book and use markers or something that's soaking through and the paper is a little bit thin. I just throw this in behind it, and it's pretty small. You don't really notice it in there. So overall, it's a pretty thick setup, especially to have all of these brushes in here. I usually just kind of chuck everything in the back, and I don't really notice it, especially when I have my clips in and everything's, let's put that one there and just shove this back in here. This one's a little bit more difficult. Okay, so I'll usually cram everything in there, and then when I'm drawing, for example, I just go in, I get my little clips, and I just sit there and that's perfect. And I can just go back and forth grabbing the different tools that I want to grab. I think my favorite though is definitely this little teeny tiny pencil. Alright, so it's just like a nice little cute pencil. It just goes so well with this book. I think they do make a ballpoint, but yeah, that's this little setup. I know I haven't really seen any kind of like this one. It's quite chonky and I kind of crammed a lot of stuff in here. But I wanted to share my book because I watch a lot of these, and I don't know, it's just nice to appreciate what you have once in a while.